Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how the Fast Buttons plugin works. So when you've installed Fast Buttons, you'll find it over here on the WordPress menu at the side under FastFlow, and basically when you click on Fast Buttons you'll be presented with a page of templates, and then you'll have a list below, and when you have your buttons added you'll see them in this list. So we can either add a new button or we can choose one of these templates as a starting point and adjust it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the download now button. And you can see we can now edit this button and save it. So let's give it a title. And we can preview it here, so we can start adjusting what it looks like using these styling options. So maybe we want the button to have a bit of a bigger text. So if we bring it to 22, and then we can go down and change the background. So maybe we want it to be red. Now you see there's a border around that, so perhaps you don't want the border there. Let's just turn the border off. Maybe you want the border radius to be a bit more rounded. Okay, 20 is a good starting point. And maybe we want, when we hover on it, we want it to slightly change color. So let's change that to a solid. And let's make it a paler red. It's a bit too salmon. That will do. And then we see this icon here. We can change the icon if we want. So show application icons. So let's have a look. Maybe we want a square looking one. Let's try that. And if we hide these now, so if you don't find any icons that you want, you can always open Font Awesome here as well. Let's just hide these for a second. And we can animate the icon when it's clicked, so we could actually add a spinner. So let's have a look. This gear. So when it's clicked, you see it starts spinning, so we know that something's actually happening. And then we're pretty much done with the button styling, so let's just add a link. So we can basically link to any file that's on your website or any location. And when we click the download now button, this is going to start downloading the file that you put in this link. Or we could link to a different web page on your site, and that would be the download page. So I'm going to leave that box empty for now, and I'll show you why shortly. Further down we actually have some button conditions, so we can assign this button to be only visible to administrators and subscribers, or if we leave those off it'll be visible to everybody. And then if we go further down we actually have fast tags as well, so we can set conditions based on the fast tags that you get available from the FastFlow dashboard. So these fast tags can be applied to users, so we can have tags here and we can add new tags, and we can also sync tags to our CRMs such as ActiveCampaign, Kartra and Infusionsoft, so we can import the tags into here. And then if we come back to our button, then we can assign these tags to that button, and the button will either be visible or hidden from your members that have those specific tags. And then further down we have a shortcode that actually lets you display the button. So when we copy this shortcode and then save the button, publish it, where we put the shortcode we can actually view the button. So let's just publish this. And let's add a new page. And we'll give it a title of button demo, and we'll use a standard editor, and basically let's just add a shortcode block and publish. So if we now view this page, can see the button has appeared. If we click it, it starts spinning, but nothing happens because we didn't actually add any action on the button itself. So if we have a link to action, that would be performed when you click the button, but instead I'm going to show you something else. So basically further down we have some optional parameters that we can add to the shortcode. So if we add a href, we can add in here href equals and then your destination, but for this demo I'm just going to put Google. Now when we revisit the page with the button on it and click it, it now takes us to Google. So basically we can use the same shortcode, so we could just copy this shortcode and we can change the destination and we can basically use the same button style but just change a parameter within that shortcode, and we can basically duplicate the button with different destinations as many times as you want. And then we can also change the text. So if we go into our button editor, you see here we have an option for text. So let's go back and add text equals, and then on the second button we can add text equals Facebook. And now if we update this page and review it, you can see we have two buttons. One is for Google, one is for Facebook, and they both have different destinations, but they're both using the same button style that we created here. So when we save this, when we look at our fast buttons list, you can see we have a title of the download button, the shortcode that we can copy, and then the date that it was published. We will be adding a preview in here so that you can actually see what the button looks like from this little list here. But you can see that basically you can create one button once and then it can be reused as many times as you like, and you can add different content, well, different text content and different destinations, different file download paths to those buttons, and we can reuse them. And then if we decide that we want to change the style of these download buttons at any time, instead of having to adjust the style of them all individually, all we need to do is come back into our button library, edit the button here. So maybe we want to have a different color, maybe we want it a bit more squared, and we want the background to be blue and the hover to be a lighter blue. Now we update this, and reload this page. You can see both our buttons have now changed, and we only had to update one button in the main library. So if I now show you how the tagging works, so for example, if we want to assign a tag to only make those buttons visible to customers, we can now update this. And let's refresh. Now you see the buttons have disappeared, but if I come in and edit my admin profile and assign a fast tag of customer to my user, and then refresh this page, you can see the buttons are now visible. So you can see how flexible and powerful this can be if you want to start creating dynamic content and only display certain buttons to certain users of your site. And you can base that on tags that are either added through Fast Member, through any of the fastflow plugins, or through your CRM such as ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft, even Aweber will be having an add-on for Aweber. So basically we can display buttons based on tags that are sent from your CRM into FastTagger and the FastFlow system, and we can create dynamic CSS3 stylized buttons which can be reused anywhere on your website and can be displayed based on any condition.